Thank you for coming to another episode of His Wife, Her Husband.
I am Shamika, his wife,
I am Patrick, her husband, and our purpose is to help you build
and sustain your
from a
marriage.
biblical perspective. If you believe your marriage is in need of coaching, Shamika and I are certified marriage and life coaches. Just log into our website, www.hiswifeherhusband.net, to book your discovery call.
Wives, if you are looking for one on one coaching, put his wife in the notes section.
Husbands, if you are looking for one on one coaching, put her husband in the notes section.
Husbands and wives, if you are looking for marriage coaching as a couple, put his wife, her husband in the notes section.
Remember, our purpose is to help you build
And sustain your marriage.
from a biblical perspective.
So go on over to www.hiswifeherhusband.net to schedule your discovery call today.
We had a conversation a couple of days ago, and I was talking to a couple, and I was just asking them. Oh, listen, y'all. I will talk about it later. I was, I was asking them. No, we can talk about it. We went to an Ethiopian restaurant.
Oh my goodness, what an experience.
It was our first time at an authentic Well, I guess as
Yeah,
authentic
authentic.
as because they're from Ethiopia,
Hmm.
with Ethiopian people cooking, all right, and serving and on. And what's it called? Abyssinian.
Hmm.
And on Poplar Avenue. And it was really a really good experience. Like
Yeah.
the food was
It was an
extraordinarily good.
experience.
Now
It
my
was an
wife did not
experience.
want to do it
Mm-mm.
because the pictures on they need a good social media person because the pictures on
Yeah.
whatever we
Hmm.
were looking at didn't do it justice.
Yeah.
But when they brought it out, it was like,
It was
oh
beautiful.
wow, like
It was
it looked
colorful.
really good,
Yeah.
and you had to eat with your hands,
Whew.
and we had to remind my wife that this is not new, because
Yeah.
back when we had a Big Mama,
Yeah.
are there Big Mamas still around? I haven't seen a Big
Look,
Mama.
it's rare. Look, mama. Excuse me. The
Back when
big
we
mama.
had Big Mamas, you ate the greens and you had the hot water cornbread with the what's the little vinegar stuff with the peppers?
Sauce, chow.
Not
Chow chow.
not that, but that was something different. But it was like the vinegar
Oh, I
with
know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
You put
Uh-huh.
that in there and you mush it out. You mush the greens and the cornbread and then as a cha cha. I didn't eat it,
With your
but you with
hands.
your hands and you had to eat greens and you had to eat those greens like it was the best way to eat it. You don't use a fork at Big Mama house at Grandma house.
Not with those greens.
Now with the greens, you take the
Yeah.
greens and you
Look, the
put it in your
greens,
mouth. It's all on
the
your hand and you lick your
black eyed
fingers.
peas.
Yeah,
Yeah. The yams. It was a
you
whole
you you
jam.
had to eat it right.
It was a whole jam.
And the fork would get in the way. Like, what are
Yeah.
you doing? No, just take that, mush it all together, and then take your hands and so we had to do that again at the Ethiopian restaurant with this little spongy like type
Yeah, we don't
bread,
know the
like a
name of it.
napkin,
We gotta put the name up there. We have to find out what it is.
and
Yeah.
you break a piece off of it, and you take it and you grab your chicken or you grab your was it lamb?
We
You
had
grab your
lamb.
lamb and you grab your
Lamb
lentils and
tips. Hmm.
you grab
The
your
potatoes,
vegetables and your
whatever.
white
Your collard
potatoes and your
green.
red
Yeah,
potatoes
it
and your
was
beets
good.
and you just and you just take it and then you take a nap and wipe your hands off, start all over again. And it was a great experience. But I was asking our friends about how they met. And what's up? I thought you were gonna say something, Pat. We were asking our friends about how they met, and I just wanted to hear the story of the beginning of the relationship.
Hmm.
And she was like, well, maybe that's something we need to start. Like, maybe that's something couples should do. Like, talk about the beginning. Like, what was it? Like, so the hope is if each of us, if all of us would just go back, the husband and the wife, like, take time to go down memory lane and just talk about the the beginning stages of the dating and what made you love each other and what made you just like what was
What
that?
made you? Oh yeah, what was the attractive
What was the
component?
attractive
Yeah, what was the
component? You know
attraction?
what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And It was a
Well,
delight to see. Go ahead.
I remember my first time meeting Patrick. I remember him. He was performing at a junior high school that I was not attending yet, and he was a part of a dance group.
Westwood
And
Aces.
yeah, and so they were performing at a
Yeah,
talent show,
sign and everything.
which
Westwood Aces.
which high schools don't really have talent shows like they used to. This is
Mm-mm.
where people would, yeah,
Showcase their talent.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, these are things that are just gone from the community. But
Hmm.
anyway, yeah, hashtag bring back talent shows. And so Patrick was performing, and they had capes on, and I mean, like they had their their stuff on. So I didn't really know him, but I saw him performing, and they threw out the fake fire, and I was like, wow.
It was
Now
real fire.
mind you, it was.
It was fire. We had this paper,
Look at me, I didn't got surprised. I'm like, really, what?
and you had a lighter. So we had the lighter in our pocket,
Mhm.
and when you dance around, you sit there, and then you light the paper, and you throw the paper in the air, and
Wow.
then the fire would come out. But it was the paper on fire. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
listen, all I know is, I mean, Patrick and I are 4 years apart, so it's gonna sound bad, but I was a sixth grader coming to visit a junior high school. Now, during that time, it was junior high, so we had seventh,
Right.
eighth, ninth grade. Elementary school went to the
Mm-hmm.
sixth grade, and so I had friends that were older than me, and they wanted me to come to the show. And so I was excited that my mama let me go and hang out with the older people. And I was like, yeah, yeah. And so anyway, they performed, and I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm. I was in
And
the 10th grade. That's crazy.
yeah, I mean, like I was intrigued. Now again, I seen them at a distance, but that was my first moment where I actually laid eyes on him. And what years later?
That really was me. That's
Uh-huh,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. And years later, when he walked through my good friend's door, at that time I was sitting in the chair. I said, "I know you." Like
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I knew him. And
Mm-hmm.
so anyway, that was my first time ever seeing him,
Mm-hmm.
even though we didn't have a conversation. And then so that was the attraction. I would say my very first intrigue
Mm-hmm.
before there was a conversation or
Mm-hmm.
anything.
So I
Hmm.
want to get to that night where we met each other, and for
Well,
me,
before then, because then you met me
yeah,
before.
I didn't want to I didn't want to get there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that. But anyway, I saw her. She was dating somebody, and already, and I thought well, she was a cute little girl. And sometimes when you old enough, when you older, an older guy, you see a little girl, you be like, oh, she cute, bro. She gonna be a heartbreak when she get older. So
I used
that's
to
when
hear that so much when I was growing up too.
So you did for real?
I used to be like, "Woo, Mimi." My nickname was Mimi. Mimi, you gonna be a heartbreaker,
Yeah.
man. You gonna get him. I'm like, ooh, what does that
Yeah,
mean?
that's something different. So anyway,
Like, what is that? I didn't break your
so
heart.
and then years later, she's 8 months pregnant with our oldest daughter,
Hmm.
and I meet her when I first meet her. She's eight. When I first meet her, she's 8 months pregnant with our oldest daughter,
Hmm.
and we have a conversation that night, and it was like one of the most mind stimulating conversations I've ever had with a female that was attractive. And like she's 8 months pregnant and gorgeous, and I'm like, dang. I'm like, how old are you? She's like, I'm 17. I'm like, oh my God. Then, that's when your
Patrick,
boy
don't you
Robert
say
had the
that.
song. And I'm like, yeah, but when you going to be 18? It was like in 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks or something. I'm like, okay, cool, 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 cool. Anyway, so December the 31st, we start talking. And so from December the 31st, uh, for the rest of our life,
Yeah, yeah,
we talked every day. So
yeah.
just from before dating, whatever, the whole month of January, we're talking. We did not miss a day of talking, and it seemed like it was longer than that, but actually it was just a month. Like we poured into each other,
Mm.
and we helped each other out and encouraged each other and
But
support each other for in conversation. Listen, player, conversation rule the nation. I'm telling y'all now, it ain't changed. Go ahead.
and I was gonna say now, Patrick's saying these words now from from our godly walk, but then we didn't know we didn't know that it was called encouraging, or
Right.
that we were really having therapy session, but it was a place where we just found in each other a safe place to land.
Hmm.
Because,
Mhm.
going back to when you was talking about the intelligence, a lot of time we turned it off because we didn't want to be considered a nerd. That was the
Mhm.
word back then, nerd.
Mhm.
We didn't want to be considered nerdy, and
I would not carry books home.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
it
I'm
wasn't
saying?
cool to be intelligent. And then when you have a space and a place where you can explore that and engage,
Yeah.
that was something different.
Yeah.
So much so, like it was several people in in the living room when we were talking, and yeah, they stopped talking. And as
Yeah.
soon as Patrick left, which I didn't want him to leave, but it had to come to an end.
Yeah.
And I looked at my friend and I said her name, and I dragged her name out. And then she said, "You like Patrick?" I said, "I do,"
Mhm.
because the thing was that they had brought the
Probably we probably
friend,
another guy.
her guy friend brought another guy for me to that liked me.
Right.
But when Mr. Harrington walked through that door, you would have thought he was Michael the Jackson.
Michael the Jackson. Martin Luther the King.
Martin Luther the King. I said, "I know you," and he like, "What?" Like it was almost like he was a superstar for real. Like I was like, "What?" And
So
he
here's
was
like
like,
real talk. Now we're gonna keep it a buck. Your boy had your boy had the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Like
"Do and do
it nah.
and
But
do."
yeah, your boy had the sauce. So it was and it was because of the of course the dance group um made brought some popularity. But you
Because
know what
you
I'm
were
saying?
very talented, and looking back, and even now, the community will have
Yeah.
good. He had a very good reputation. Like it did precede him.
That's
Um,
what's up.
and so yeah, and even now to today, even with all of the ruckus that he did as far as in the world, like if you have heard our unequally yoked story, even in there he was a good guy. He's a
Hmm.
good man. Like he was not
I always tell
um
people I'm Sharif. You know what I'm saying? In Minister Society, that's who I am in the community. You know what I'm saying? I'm a part of our group. Now, don't, if they get on here, they might say something different. But I like, because I was always like, man, as black men, we need to stop drinking a white man poison and blah, 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 while I'm drinking the actual stuff. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Man, we need to stop putting stuff down. We need to stop killing each other. Man, I was saying all the stuff I say now in terms of learning, fight. I didn't know anything about investing or anything like that.
mhm,
But I knew we need to pool our money together. We need to start supporting each other. Like,
mhm,
I didn't even know Black Wall Street existed at
mhm,
that time.
mhm,
But I would say stuff like, what if we all had our own, you know, grocery store, our own this and our own that, and our own community. We support ourselves, and we ain't got to go all the way out to that neighborhood. We have all our stuff. Like it was something I was already doing. But anyway, I digress. So we talked every day, and um, the conversations got deep. And as she said, we were able to safely land um, within each other and with each other, and that provided that was and I was telling her today that because a friend of mine or one of the guys I've been mentoring asked me, how do you know when the person is the one? How long does it take before you know? And I was
mhm,
like, well, it's different for everybody. You know, I don't know. It could take 3 months. It could take a year. For me, it took a month. So after that 1 month, I knew, okay, she's the one. She's the one. But I didn't want to go about. It was just an understanding. I knew she was the one, but she kept telling me I had to ask her to go with me, and I'm like, I'm too grown to be asking somebody to go somewhere. But when I almost lost her due to not even friendship, like I had skipped over the friend zone and dropped dead into the big brother zone, cause she was like, man, you like a big brother to me. I'm like, oh no, player, that's not what all this talking is doing. All this talking is not for the brother zone. And so that's when we were at Wing City, and I asked her to be my lady. You know what I'm saying? Be my lady. So yeah, and then she said yes, and man, we've been going ever since then.
yeah,
And we had some rough patches before we got married, but it was still like again, it was the conversation. It was man, I'm able to tell her some things that I'll probably reveal later on. Some things I um, have gone through that was things that people said about me that weren't true, but
Mm-hmm.
I may deal with that because it's just a part of growing as a podcast. I feel like that's transparent.
Mm-hmm.
I think she would think it's something different, but hey, it don't matter. I think it might help somebody. But yeah. So, but anyway, it was just like I don't want to lose this. I don't want to lose this conversation, or I don't want to lose this friend. And it became more like we really built a foundation of friendship,
Mm-hmm.
and we built. That's so good to me. We really built a foundation of friendship that we begin to build love on top of that friendship. And so a lot of the helping me not even go through with committing adultery on her during the times when I could have, it was I didn't want to do my friend wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was like I don't want to do my friend wrong. Like there was some close ones, but I'm like, no, I can't. No, no. I can't do my friend wrong. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
I thank God for the friendship time that we built
Mm-hmm.
uh, with each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's good stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, in a way, it would serve you well to go back down memory lane
Mhm.
and to just reminisce and to let your past serve you for where you are in the present.
Yeah.
And then it'll help you to move forward in the future. Like
Yeah.
the future looks brighter because this present day that we living in, it's gonna one day be a past, and
Hmm.
we'll be able to stop by here too.
Yeah.
So yeah, just don't give up. And I
Let,
have some.
I
What
got
do
a
you mean?
question for you. What
Oh,
was it when we were going through? What was it that made you realize or believe? Yeah, this is it. This is the one. He's the one.
oh, you remember I told you that I said that the next person I dated I wanted to be my husband,
Hmm.
and
Yeah, but how would you know that? How did you know that? Even though I'm the next person you're dating,
I guess for
like
me,
people say it all the time. How
yeah,
did you really know?
I guess for me, I'm so tired of this bug, y'all. Oh
Hmm.
my goodness. Okay. But I would say from where I'm sitting now, and probably where I was living then, is that it go back to our first conversation. Like you accepted and embraced me where I was,
Hmm.
and I knew it. Like it
Hmm.
wasn't once we got through our very first phone conversation, which was
We don't have to
not good.
revisit that.
Um, but once we overcame that, then it was on and popping,
Yeah.
there was not a conversation that we should have even contemplated,
Hmm.
but it was. But um, yeah, it was the fact that you accepted me in my life,
Hmm.
right there in that space and place, and so I mean, what else did I didn't need any more proof
Yeah.
for me. Again, that's from where I'm sitting, like where I was sitting when we met and you was like, "Ooh, she's beautiful," and
Hmm.
you weren't like, "Oh, you just whatever,"
Hmm.
you just, yeah. So just I guess what made my heart open was that your heart was open to me, to
Yeah.
accept me.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like
good.
I don't need to go anywhere. I can take my shoes off. I'm
Hmm.
good.
Hmm.
And
And we were young too.
yeah, yeah, we
Oh
were,
man.
yeah, and we reassured each other and.
Yeah.
And Patrick schooled me a lot because I didn't grow up with male guidance. And so a lot of things that I thought that I was defending and protecting and doing my thing and getting over. And he's like, girl, no. That's you off. You
Right.
wrong. You ain't got no uncles, no cousins, no daddy, no brother, no nothing. Like
Nobody give you the game.
nobody gave me the game. And so uh, that's when I was like, man, this is a brother. Like we were able to talk about some really tough things and he didn't scold me or make me he didn't judge me. Let me
Hmm.
say that. You did
Yeah.
not judge me.
We didn't judge each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, going now for us to dig deeper, this is the part where we have to be careful as we do continue to share life together that we don't begin to judge each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because the temptation is to criticize and point out, you did and you didn't. You did this and you didn't do this. Well, you should have done this and you should do this. It's like, wait, hold on. Just can we just walk with each other?
Mm-hmm.
And can you help me through what I may not understand, or I may not be getting right now? Because I think that's the part that makes or pushes spouses into the arms of others.
Hmm.
Let's make our home a judge free zone. That
Mm.
does not mean that you won't be corrected,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
Mm-hmm.
not from a scolding and
Belittling.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's not from that place. It's not from a condemning place,
Mm-hmm.
but it's from a place of gentle conviction. And before you go and say a word, you pray and ask the Lord, is this something for me to address?
Good.
Because it may be something that the Holy Spirit would do in the fullness of time.
Mm-hmm.
And you trust that. And then, or it may be you all communicating with one another and it just come out organically. It come
Mm-hmm.
out authentically and it's not coming out as you mothering him, mothering or smothering,
Hmm.
but you just graciously love him because I love you as
Yeah.
a person. And
Yeah.
I'm going to let you develop in this marriage into the best version of who God created you to be, and I get to witness you become, and Patrick gets to witness me becoming. Your spouse y'all get to witness each other becoming,
Yeah.
and it's enough judgment going on in this world. But again, make your home a judge-free home. You know, yeah. If you don't have any, look, when we grew up, if you don't have anything nice to say,
Don't say nothing at all.
don't say nothing at all.
Mm-hmm.
And if she asks, "How do I look in this outfit?" Smile and say you're on candid camera. I don't know. I'm just teasing.
That is the worst question I think wives. It was not. Anyway, we're not gonna go there.
Look, FYI, FYI. Usually, I know, ladies, don't y'all be mad at me.
Mm-mm.
Don't y'all
Mm-mm.
be mad at me. But give me a thumbs up if y'all know that, like, just so that I know I'm not by myself. Let's stand together in the sister circle, amen.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Usually, when we ask the question, we already know we look jacked up. Like, because the truth of the matter, when we know that we on 10, we level 10 living in our outfit,
Mm-hmm.
well, you can't tell me nothing no way. I already know I'm a dime.
Can't tell me nothing.
You can't tell
But
me nothing.
when I'm
I'm a
not, I need
dime,
you to
I'm a
tell me
hundred.
something.
Uh-huh. If I ask you, it's because I'm feeling some kind of way.
You feeling insecure? You want some
Uh-huh.
reassurance.
Uh-huh. So now
But
to the
that's not a
husband,
fair question to
listen,
ask.
listen, I'm finna help you win. I'm finna help you. I'm finna help you right
No,
here.
you finna
I'm
tell me
finna
to, you
help you.
finna tell me to lie to you.
No, 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 no. I'm not gonna tell you to lie. So I ask you how I look in this. Then that's when you
You
say,
look
"Oh,
nice.
no, no, no," because
Okay.
we already know we look jack. Remember I told you that.
Okay.
So usually, if I ask you, and if your wife asks you, that is a place of her feeling insecure and just needing reassuring.
Mm-hmm.
So if she say, "How do I look in this?" One of the things that you could say, and I promise you, it'll make her get up and work out. And it's going to all work out. Or it's going to make her,
Mm-hmm.
just work up being the best version of ourselves. If you say,